So I'm going to go over how I animate my main choices of effects animation, which are lightning, aura, and energy beams. Not my usual video, but I get a fair bit of comments about doing tutorials, so why not? By the way, I just thought I'd mention this. I animate at 24 frames per second, and I use RoughAnimator on iOS, but what I show you in this video, you can do this on any app. So because it's the easiest one, we're going to start with lightning. What we're going to do first is make the background somewhat dark. Or at least that's what I'm going to do, because if you're working with effects and like lights and all that kind of stuff, it just makes it look so much better. Anyways, I'm just going to draw a ball real quick, and our lightning is going to revolve around this ball. I don't know, let's go purple. Wait. Yes, right. Okay, so for lightning, I don't really have, I just have it go on like really strange paths. I don't really have like a set one, I just kind of draw like random lines, and then, I don't know, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, and when they don't, I just redo it until it works, or at least until I think it works anyways. Okay, so a bit of a bonus tip for the lightning is, like, try and have it like wrap around what you're doing, right? So like say you have like this weird shape here. I don't know what that is, don't ask. We get our lightning color again, right? So what I mean is, like, you can just, yeah, have it go in front, and then once you're this side, have it go behind it, try and like erase that, and then you can have it wrap around like this again, and then yeah, so it kind of gives that illusion that it's like wrapping around it, you know. All right, so let's say this, right? Let's stick with this. Second one is gonna be, you're gonna want to just do like a slightly larger or more spread out version of that one. But if you have lines that are shooting off like this, you can basically just go over them again, because they're not going to look the exact same, right? And that's kind of the trick with this. It's like, if you just, as long as it's not the exact same, you can even like just go over it again, or you can just do this like what I'm doing. If you want, you can even go like in between. Okay, so we got 3 frames here. Now you just kind of want to separate them with like a frame in between, like a blank frame in between. So like, here's frame 1, blank, frame 2, blank, frame 3, blank, and then like, then you can draw as many as you want afterwards. Like here, I'm just going to draw like a 4th frame real quick. Now, you could either keep repeating what I just showed you, or if you want, every now and then you can kind of just like make like a new shape. Like, that is terrible. Okay, maybe not like that. I don't know. Again, this all depends on what you think looks cool. Maybe something like that. And then like pretty much kind of just do the same thing. But the main thing that I do is just like pick a shape, or pick like a, I guess, a path for the lightning to go on, and then just separate them with blank frames in between. And then like, you know, every now and then you can just kind of like switch up the shape, or you can add like pauses in between. There you go, something like that. And then basically if you just keep doing this, it's gonna like... But yeah, nothing too complicated. Alright, so this is what my timeline's looking like right now, and that's usually how it looks when I do lightning, and this is how the animation looks. So you can animate aura in a lot of different ways, most of which I can't do right. Like, you could either do like some like flame style aura, or you can do like a Dragon Ball style aura, like this. But the main type of aura that I use is like when someone's like powering up, right? And when they're powering up, the aura is going to be moving fast. So the aura that I use has like a strange shape like this. Now because there's a thicker part of the aura here, we move that to here, the middle part. And this is going to be thin. Like the middle's going to be like thick, and then it goes thin again at the bottom. And then because the middle's thick, the thick part is going to be at the top here, and then the bottom's going to be very thin. So we have our 3 main frames here, but when I'm animating aura, it's mainly a loop of 5 different frames. So what we're going to do is we're going to go like here like this, right? We're going to do this. Now what relevance does this have? You'll see in a second. Okay, so we have frame 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if we loop that, and then just like fill it in with the bucket tool real quick, and that's pretty much what I go for, because it's fast moving and it looks clean enough. Obviously there's like certain things you can adjust, like for example, I've noticed that this frame here comes in way too thin, so like, oh no, we can just like fix that. Just like draw over it. Alright, we can see that now. And it's pretty much as simple as that, right? And if you want, you can like add, wait, let me find the color. Here you go, red. Why not? Now you can add lightning to it if you want, but obviously the main thing here is how I actually did the aura. So the main thing I want to focus on is, like, I draw a thick part at the bottom. Next frame, I make it thick in the middle because obviously it's going to be flowing upwards, right? Then thick part at the top, then 2 frames that kind of don't even look like the rest of it. I don't know why it flows so well, but for some reason it just does. Or at least it does to me anyways. Now with blasts, you can animate blasts in many different ways, but the 2 ways I like to animate them is either like this or like this, with all the shapes broken up. But I'll show you how to do both of those. Okay, so for number 1, you want really 4 shapes that you can kind of like put into a loop, right? I have frame 1, frame 2 slowly expand, frame 3 be a little bit bigger than that, then have frame 4 be smaller than the first frame. So that way it kind of loops properly. And then the shapes you draw inside. And as for like the shapes, there's no real like certain direction you can take them, just kind of scribble inside like this, make them all spiky or whatever. You don't even have to make them spiky, you can make them like kind of like this, right? Like blobby shapes. But for the most part, they're random. So the best tip I can give here is to try and draw the shapes in the gaps of like the last frame. You know what I mean? So look, I'll show you. So like you can see there's like a gap here, right? All this is like a gap. So I kind of make the gap of the last frame kind of the focus of like this one. Kind of something like that. Then the rest we can do this, right? We can just like do one big shape here. Then just kind of go into the last 2 with the same kind of like thought pattern, I guess. So here with this frame, we can see there's like this here is all just one big gap. So we're gonna go in with the white, then we can kind of do a little something like this, right? And then this is our 3rd frame. So in our last one, again, we're gonna do the same thing. You know, like this is a gap over here, this is one here, and like all this here is one big gap. So that's what we're gonna focus this frame on. Yeah, and then just fill that in. And it's gonna look fantastic. So method 2 is almost exactly like method 1, except instead of a bunch of shapes being inside of one big bubble shape or one big blast shape, the shapes are the blast. Kind of like how I did the aura here, except it has to come from a certain point. So I'm gonna draw this blast the same way I did the aura, right? Obviously I'm gonna have like the start of it look very thick, and then we're gonna have this part kind of like flow up the blast. Now in the 2nd frame, the middle part is gonna be the thickest. Alright, so now again, because the thickest part is in the middle, we're going to bring that up to the end here. So we're going to start this here, the base of the blast. And then just like the aura, there's going to be 2 frames at the end that kind of pretty much seem like they got nothing to do with the, like, yeah. And then once you have your shapes, you're gonna wanna go in with the white, and you wanna like very or somewhat closely follow the shapes that you've like drawn already. Okay, so once you've filled the shapes in and all that, you should get this. And once again, it is going to look fantastic. So just like with the aura, if you want to make it look better, you can kind of like add lightning to it, or you can add these like strokes of energy, whatever else you call them. I don't know, that's entirely up to you though. And that's pretty much it.